So I want to thank you all first for coming out tonight. When we first put this together, we weren't sure how many folks would be interested in it, and this is sort of our maiden voyage on it. So I'd be happy to hear feedback at the end, and I hope you'll be patient if anything goes awry. So this week we decided to do it this week because it's National Computer Science Week. And real quick, we're going to do the kids portion from 7 to 8, and then we're going to focus more on how to teach coding to kids in the session from 8 to 9. So here's the issue. It really kind of got me concerned about my industry. I'm a computer scientist by training, and my kids started doing competitive robotics, and I was trying to teach them to code, and started doing some research with friends like the folks that code in the schools, and started seeing graphs like this, and started wondering, why aren't people taking computer science? Because I absolutely love to program. Like when I got my first job, which was not at Twitter or Facebook, it was at United Parcel Service, making the trucks run more efficiently. I was like, don't tell anybody, I would do this for free. Because like some people like crossword puzzles and Scrabble, that's how I am about coding. So then, I started seeing graphs like this, which I also noticed. So I graduated college about, let's just say 1985, 1987, just so it lines up well. And about 20% of the graduating class was female. So the number of people taking computer science went up to and basically the number of computer science graduates is about the same as it was in 1985. But the difference is, there's half as many women involved, which is wacky maths to me. Because I'm a software engineer, and software is a language, and it's about communication skills. So this is the other part that kind of makes me a little bit crazy, is when people think of software development, they're like, I don't want to do that. You're going to spend my whole day in front of a computer screen, which if you actually watched my day, you would find that completely hilarious. Because I spend most of my time talking to people, and anyway, investment bankers and many other jobs spend much more time in front of the screen than I do, which is sort of the irony. The other thing is, the coolest software that I wrote was not at the Facebook competitor I was the co-founder of. The coolest stuff was at United Parcel Service and Becton Dickinson, which is this international company that makes medical equipment. And we were solving tough problems like how to detect tuberculosis, which was big, cool stuff in my mind. This is the other weird thing. If you look at the advanced placement enrollment, this little teeny tiny one here is computer science. So there's 20,000 open jobs in computing in the state of Maryland, according to the Department of Education. Why the heck? Nothing against history, but that stuff kind of makes me crazy. I'm not sure where we lost the quote, but what Steve Jobs is saying there is we should teach programming because it teaches people how to think. It teaches logic and reason, and it's much more about things like flow and recursion than magic. I wanted to do a shout out to the sponsors. When I asked Stevenson if I could do this here, they were like, heck yeah. And one of the reasons is because they're big advocates of this type of thing. They have a business information systems and a computer information systems major, and those degrees teach people how to do the software that makes the world work. I also wanted to thank my employer, Mind Over Machines, which is a great example of a company that has been around for a long time, sort of done you drive around town on the sides of large buildings, we've probably built something for them. Also for government agencies like the National Institutes of Health, as well as large nonprofits like Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. So we're helping organizations like that with their mission through software technologies. Okay, so people will ask me, what about all the links to all the stuff your kids showed? And I'm going to promise you that we will get you the links. If nothing else, remember this email address, which is ed@BaltimoreRoboticsCenter.com. Kevin also has a YouTube channel. If you type into Google Robotic Boy Scout and YouTube, this presentation is being filmed, and that film will be cut, and it'll be put on his YouTube channel. So if you want to watch it again, and we're going to go really quick through stuff. So you are probably going to want to look at these resources later on. So with that, I'm going to introduce Catherine.
Okay. I'm Catherine Mullen, as you just heard. So first I want to tell you a little bit about me. So I'm a 7th grader at Hereford Middle School, and I became interested in coding when I saw my older brother Kevin doing it, and I thought it was super cool, and I wanted to learn too, and also my dad did it, so he also got me into that. So I kind of just got along with it. So I really started coding when I started with my robotics team, which is 9290E, but now I make video games and stuff too. So coding is super fun. You get to be very creative and imaginative, and you get to do pretty much anything you want, and no one can hold you back from that. It's so cool to do something that you see people want to do, or kids are like, that's super cool, I just played this new video and it's so fun, and I'm like, I know how to make that, I can do that. And so I don't only make video games, I like to bake, I like to 3D print, I ride horses, and I also do robotics. So, but other than that, I'm a Girl Scout and I play on my lacrosse team. So tonight I'm going to show you how to make 2 different codes, simple codes with 2 different programs. So first I'm going to show you small basics. So I'm going to be showing you how to, got cut off, but how to make this graphic turtle move. So this is what we're going to be doing. What it's going to be is it's going to be a turtle is going to move in a square around the screen. So I'll show you a little bit on how you actually would type it. So Small Basic is really good for people that are just learning how to program because it does this. It comes up with a auto what it thinks that you're going to type, so you can even scroll down if you want to. I'm doing turtle and show. So that's going to say I want the turtle to show up on the screen. So it's super easy to do it. Then now you want the turtle to know where it is on the screen. So write turtle again because you're talking about the turtle. And then X. It already knows what that means. Space. And then 50. So that's where its X value is. So you want to do the same thing with the Y. Y equals, and in this case, 200. Okay, so that's kind of just how you would type it out, but I'm just going to tell you more about this one. So it's saying, as I said, the turtle is showing up, and then its Y and X coordinates are 50 and 200, and then we're going to say we want it to move 500, in this case it's like pixels, so it's a measurement, and then it's saying we want to put, the pen is up, and we want to put it down so it'll mark where it's going, and the speed, we want it to be 8, so it's not, because you would think it would be laid out, and it's a simple way to make a turtle go.
So how many people think that they could do that? That's the thing about coding is it's not magic. It's not that hard. And once you try it, you might really like it.
Okay. So now we're going to do this in Robot C, which I use when I program my robot for my competitive robotics, which is BEST, as you saw down there. And it's a really great way, after you've done something like small basic, to see it in real life, not just on a screen. So we're gonna program, I'm gonna show you the program for it on the paper, but with the robot. So the same thing is gonna be square on paper. So what we're saying, so first it's saying this is where the variables, which is the ports and stuff, is going to be translated into the right front motor, left front, back, all that. So this is going to be all in autonomous, so I'm not going to be driving it at all. So it's saying that we want